stranger than fiction.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to What's Going On with AI. You know me, I'm Peter Dahlwell, and today we're going deep on AI efficiency. I mean, who doesn't want to get more done every single day? And AI might just be how we do that. Today I've got Nora Kane with me. She is an absolute AI whiz. Nora, you ready to dive in and figure out how AI can turn us all into productivity machines?
Hey, Peter, definitely ready to dive in. We're talking AI that can do it all. Well, almost. Maybe it can't make you coffee, but it can at least help you order it online faster.
Right. You have me a productivity machine, so let's get into it.
Right.
We're talking today about some really cool stuff from Hugging Face, about a new AI model called DeepSeek V3. It seems like this could be a real game changer.
Yeah, DeepSeek V3 is next level. This thing has a massive 671 billion parameters. That's like the brain power of, I don't know, a small country or something. But here's the kicker. It only uses 37 billion of those for any given task.
Wait, hold on. It's like having this crazy, powerful sports car and only ever driving it in first gear. Why wouldn't it use all of that AI brain power all the time?
Well, that's where it gets really clever. DeepSeek V3 uses this thing called Mixture of Experts, or MoE. Think of it as a bunch of specialized AI teams. If you're writing a poem, you don't need the AI expert in astrophysics weighing in.
Right. So it's got a whole bunch of AI brains, but it only uses the best one for each job. That's really smart, way more efficient than, inviting everyone to the meeting when only half of them are actually going to contribute.
Exactly. And then there's this other trick that DeepSeek V3 uses. It's called multi-head latent attention, or MLA. Basically what this does is it helps the model focus on what actually matters. It's like a laser beam cutting through distractions.
MLA sounds pretty fancy. I think I need that in my life. I am like the king of distraction. But seriously, how does that actually work?
It's all about finding the most relevant information. Sifting for gold in a river, ignoring the noise and just zeroing in on the good stuff. Kind of like how you scroll through social media and only pay attention to the things that actually interest you.
Yeah, totally. So DeepSeek V3, it's like it has a built-in BS detector. No more wasting time with the unimportant stuff. I'm already feeling more efficient just thinking about it. But hold on. If this thing is so smart, how in the world do they even train it?
Well, get this. They trained it on 14.8 trillion tokens. That's like reading every single book in the Library of Congress, but DeepSeek V3 did it in a fraction of the time.
My brain would be totally fried. So how do they do that without melting a bunch of computers?
Efficiency is the name of the game, right? They use this technique called FP8 training. It uses way less computer power. It's like finding a shortcut. You get to the same place, but you burn way less fuel.
I love a good shortcut, less power.
Yeah.
Same amazing AI. So you mentioned earlier this thing can do a ton of different things. What can it actually do? Can it finally teach me how to fold a fitted sheet?
Maybe not that. But this model can do so many things. It can write different kinds of creative content. It can translate languages. It can answer your questions. And it can even do things like write poems and code and scripts and even musical pieces, email, letters, you name it.
Hold on. Poems and code, that's like saying someone is like a world-class chef and also a brain surgeon. Is it actually good at all of this stuff, or is it kind of like a jack-of-all-trades, master of none?
No, it's not just a one-trick pony. DeepSeek V3 has aced pretty much all of the benchmark tests out there. Especially in math and coding, we're talking straight A student-level stuff.
Okay, now I'm impressed. But is this just for super tech people? Can regular people like me actually use DeepSeek V3?
Totally, and that's the best part. They've made it super accessible. It doesn't matter how much you know about computers. It's choose your own adventure. You can start easy and then, work your way up to the expert level.
So whether you're a total newbie or a coding whiz, there's a way for you to use this AI. So it's not like some exclusive club. But how do you actually run it? Does it need a supercomputer?
No, it's surprisingly flexible. You can run it on pretty much any hardware. NVIDIA, AMD, even Huawei's Ascend MPUs. It's it can speak different computer languages.
Wow, a multilingual AI. This thing has it all.
It really does. It's about making it accessible, flexible, and of course, super efficient.
Okay, so I'm sold on the efficiency, but we need to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how DeepSeek V3 can make you more efficient in your daily life. Stick around.
Welcome back to What's Going On with AI.
And we're back. Ready to see how this super efficient AI can actually help us level up our lives.
It's awesome to get into all the technical details, but what really matters is how this stuff can actually make a difference in our day-to-day lives.
100%. I want real-world examples, not just a bunch of fancy acronyms.
Okay, all right. So picture this. You're drowning in emails and Slack messages and research papers. The whole 9 yards, right? DeepSeek V3 could be like your ultimate assistant, summarizing all of those documents, pulling out the key points, and saving you hours of work.
Okay, that's like a lifesaver right there. No more information overload. It's like having a superpowered research assistant. That's amazing.
Exactly. And then think about all of the other things that it could take care of, like scheduling your appointments, managing your to-do list, even helping you write that presentation you've been putting off.
Hold on. Is this AI about to become my new best friend? It sounds like it could do all the stuff that I keep meaning to do but never actually get around to.
Think of it as like a superpowered sidekick, helping you conquer your day and free up your time to do the things that you actually enjoy.
All right, sign me up. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Are there any downsides to relying this much on AI? I've seen enough sci-fi movies to know that this could go wrong.
That's a good question. Like any powerful tool, AI needs to be used responsibly. We need to think about things like data privacy, make sure that our information is safe.
Yeah, we definitely don't want all of our personal info floating around out there in the AI world.
Yeah.
So what can we do to make sure that AI is being used for good and not for, taking over the world?
It's all about having the right safeguards in place, clear regulations, ethical guidelines, and ongoing research to make sure that AI is actually benefiting everyone.
Sounds like a solid plan. So
Yeah.
it's not about fearing AI,
Yeah.
but it's about making sure that we're using it wisely, making sure it's working for us, not against us.
Exactly. It's a partnership, not a takeover. AI should be empowering us, not replacing us.
Well said. And speaking of empowering, we're going to empower you, our listeners, with some ways that you can actually use DeepSeek V3. So when we come back for part 3, we'll break it all down. We'll show you how to actually use this AI to boost your efficiency. So stay tuned. And we're back for the final part of our AI efficiency deep dive. So, Laura, we've talked about all the cool stuff that DeepSeek V3 can do. But now for the really important part, how can our listeners actually get their hands on this and start using it?
Well, the good news is DeepSeek has made it really easy to actually access and play around with this model. You remember that Hugging Face article we talked about earlier?
Of course, that's where I first saw DeepSeek V3. It's like the Disneyland of AI, so much to explore.
Right. And in that article, DeepSeek actually provides links to their website and their API platform. That's kind of like your golden ticket to actually start using DeepSeek V3, not just reading about it.
Okay, so for those listeners who are ready to get started, are we talking about hardcore coding here, or can someone with, let's say, average tech skills get involved?
Don't worry, you don't have to be a coding genius. DeepSeek has options for everyone. They've got some really simple demos that let you experiment with DeepSeek V3 without writing any code at all.
Demos. Now you're speaking my language. What kind of things can you do with these demos?
Well, you can try out, generating creative text formats like poems or scripts. You can test out its language translation abilities. It's a really good way to kind of get a feel for what DeepSeek V3 can do.
That's great. A risk-free way to test the waters. But what if you're ready to kind of jump into the deep end?
Well, then the API platform is where it's at. This is where things get really interesting, because you can use the API to integrate DeepSeek V3 into your own apps and workflows.
Okay, so this is getting a little more advanced, but super cool. What are some examples of how someone would actually use the API?
So let's say you're a writer and you're struggling with writer's block. You could use the DeepSeek V3 API to help you brainstorm some ideas or even generate some initial drafts, just to get the creative juices flowing.
So it's like having an AI muse. I like it.
Exactly. Or imagine you're a developer who's building a new app. You could use the API to create a chatbot that uses DeepSeek V3 to give your users a much more natural and engaging experience.
That's incredible. So we're not just talking about doing our current jobs better.
Yeah.
But actually opening up this whole new world of possibility.
That's what's so exciting about AI like DeepSeek V3. It's not just about doing things faster. It's about amplifying our creativity and really pushing the limits of what we can achieve.
I'm inspired. I bet our listeners are too. So, Nora, as we wrap up our deep dive here, what is the one key takeaway that you want our audience to remember?
Well, if you're ready to unlock a whole new level of efficiency in your work and in your life, AI can help you do that. Models like DeepSeek V3 are becoming more accessible every single day, putting incredible power at your fingertips. So don't be afraid to explore and experiment and see what you can accomplish with the power of AI.
Well said. And there you have it, folks, our deep dive into AI efficiency. We hope you learned a ton, had some laughs along the way, and are feeling ready to unleash your inner productivity ninja. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on What's Going On with AI.